All right, good morning. Um, we are popped up above. Look at that. Yesterday nailed the resistance. Now we're just in line with the high from mid-December there where we had that huge up day. So we are pre-market. We'll see what happens. Might get a little bit above or we might just fail right here. I mean, we had some good earnings this morning. Things are starting to look up, I'll be honest with you. So maybe this is the day that we just punch through. We do have economic data tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. That might be, we might fade early in this pre-market, and then tomorrow we might get a rejection. We'll see. I mean, in general, from if we go to the October low, this is a good setup. If you look at the right here, I mean, this just looks great. Yeah, I mean, if I'd be happy. I mean, this is a strong setup with a lot of support now. Probably, so if we do punch above, and even if we get pushed back, say around 420 on the SPY, I just can't. There's enough going on here. I think it just doesn't cut right through it. I don't know. It's obviously not extremely bullish, but it's a good setup. Feeling good. Let's take a look at the Qs. Yeah, see, now that looks nice. We're getting above the high here. So kind of a double bottom setup. I think if you want to look at it, if you've been watching day to day and you want to sit there and look at how it's been moving over the last, say, month or so, I think the really, I would say, yeah, I guess positive thing is that when there's been times where I said, oh, it's going to really get slammed down and it looks like today could be the day that they just reject it, even if it does pull back or it's a strong sell-off, there's not too much continuation. Whereas before, where you get a bad down day, it's usually set up for another one and another, and we've had days where it's pulled back, right? It's pushed back and then it comes back up. Sell off day and then it comes back up. It's been hammering up, so which is good. See these days where even when it comes down to low, it's getting these big long wicks or shadows here, and we're getting almost hammer days, which are good. This day was a rejection day. The next day it popped back up, moved up even higher. So I think we're looking good. Positive movement. All right, let's get to the healthy dividends. Bristol Myers looks good. I think we had earnings this morning, which were solid. Yep. So solid beat. I mean, it's not a big percentage beat, but when you think about how much money that really is, not a bad 200 mil beat. EPS, that's good. It's a solid beat. Nice work, BMY. I think Merck missed, right? Merck, I'm looking at McKesson, MRK. Sorry, Merck. Oh yeah, she's hurting this morning, but already hammered. Shit. Well, I said it in the last video. Oh, actually, that video I had to shoot. I had to pull that video because the audio was so bad. I said if you were looking for it, you'd probably have to get around 102, 103, and I think it nailed 102 this morning. Yeah, 102. Probably would have missed it. But NVO's just starting. Their earnings is just rolling. They've got some. It was a while ago. It was like 4 or 5 years ago that I was looking at NVO, and I was like, man, these guys are struggling to get something. I mean, they were known for their diabetes, which is what they're still, known for. But I totally discounted their ability to become an absolute juggernaut in that. I always thought some of the other guys, the other biotechs, were gonna fight them back, but no, they're rolling. They have good drugs, but their commercial setup is awesome. Definitely outperforming, I think. It's good. Lilly, keep an eye here. Lilly, I think, is one. AbbVie was another one that we should be looking at. Yeah, we're getting close on AbbVie. You know what? We might be on it. We might be on one right now. Hold on. If you look back here, yeah, we are. So if you're, I think we're on or close to our target here. Look at that. So AbbVie's at the top here. That's the top of my buy list. CBS is also there. It's weak, but I'm not too worried. I'm still just, it's one of those names where I'm just not worried right now. Anybody else that we want to look at here? Some of these names that we're pulling, basically helping the market stay afloat, is starting to weaken up, so I have a shopping list here. She's still looking solid. What's GSK look like today? Oh, MDT, that's another one. No, but things are bad for MDT. Yeah. It's got solid yield at this point. She'll come back. Actually, the big surprise this morning is Align, Invisalign. I put in the chat, you know, like, come on, look at this. This is what I'm talking about. You know, this whole entire time, you know, oh, the sales, the growth is slowing up, blah, blah, blah. All these reasons why these street analysts are telling you not to get in. And they're sitting down there and look at this nice long base, comes down, hits our buy targets, comes right up off the top. Sales, I mean, the earnings was good. It was a solid beat, but it was, I think, the realization that this was really oversold and now is, you know, moving hopefully to one of our sell targets. I'll have to update that. Take a look. But I didn't hit the buy button as much as I wanted to when I saw. It might have been this one. I want to say it was one of these steeper ones, but I think it was off this. Yeah, it was off this one, because when we had the initial breakout, yeah, so it was definitely probably off this one or this one that I said I should have got in on it, because it started to get, maybe it was around here, and I just didn't pull the trigger. But I had no problem adding when it was down here. That was fine. Not that it's a massive position for me in the first place. I'm not, you know, incredibly bullish on, you know, Invisalign and Align Tech, but it's still a solid company. They're, yeah, essentially seen as the market leader there, industry leader. Oversold. Don't mind having it in a long-term portfolio. Once I get the cash house money, I'll probably, I mean, I might consider going back to it if the setup's right, but that's something I can put in the back of a, you know, a drawer and just let it sit there for a while. Once I've made at least a little profit on it. Anybody hurting this morning? Not really. That's all good. All right, let's take a look at BioBoom. Seems like the top guys. Oh, is that a reverse split? Yeah, okay. I didn't even know they were doing that. I might look at this guy now. I really like, this is like one of my favorite companies from when I was working in healthcare. So with their products, at least what they had, really underpriced. I mean, just absolute dirt cheap for what they are. They pull in positive, like, they're cash money. They're bringing in, they're not a lot of profit, but certainly undervalued though. How you looking? I haven't looked at PBYI in a long time. Nope. Starting to weaken up a little bit. Come back down to 3 something, maybe I'll consider it. This was another one. Oh, the cash burn and the this and the... Oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. Looks almost the same thing as a line. Look at that. Came down, based out. People look at see how the volume... Like, the volume was anemic. And all of a sudden starts coming down. Oh, and the narrative is, oh, you know, cash burn, blah, blah, blah. You know, the growth isn't as good as we thought it was going to be. And then, what, they're going to say, oh, man, but now they figured out their commercial. You know, they'll give an excuse of why, you know, the company's probably going to pop here at some point soon. This will be a great trade for me. I'll probably go a pretty solid sell at sell 1 and then, you know, go completely to house money at sell 2. That way, if it does turn down, if I sold, I wouldn't be... If I had to sell out, I wouldn't. You know what? I'd probably buy more. I'd probably sell a chunk here, and if it came back down, I'd probably accumulate even more. They're just one of those... They're like... arguably... They're probably the second in the industry, maybe third. But when we were buying, accumulating here, just obvious. They have decent amount of cash. So like when the opportunities that we took advantage of was a lot on stocks that had enough cash probably to ride out the interest rates. But because they were, you know, relying on their own cash reserves to keep the lights on, the market was punishing it, but they had enough cash. So the issue of interest rates really wasn't a big problem for them. It wasn't going to have a massive impact on, you know, the company as, you know, the workings of the company. So and they're not immune to it, but you know, you have a couple years worth of cash that should get you through, you know, interest rate hikes. Whoa. That's another one on the list. How you looking? I got this one. Where'd you go? There we are. Oh, I might have to pull the trigger on her. I wanted this to roll over, but look at that. Comes up. Once she got above the anchored VWAP, look at her. She's all go. This is it. She's got a nice move, probably to 45. Maybe, yeah, 42 to 45 there might be. That's a gap. There's not a lot of volume there. So once you get above this, she probably will just naturally gravitate to 45-ish. Could do a... Well, I have to take a look at the options there. It's probably not... Problem with options on these small guys is there's just not enough volume. Yeah, she's going to. All right. Well, that was... Yeah. I've been holding on to it. I haven't. It's. Maybe I should have grabbed someone and sold off here, but. All right, I think I'll end it there. It's gonna take a while probably for this to load up. Oh, HRTX. Oh yeah. I'll buy some HRTX today. And some Cirrus. That was an easy buy. That was so easy. KPTI. Oh yeah, now I'm starting to look at all these bio boom names, and I'm starting to salivate because you can see these names. They're starting to get a little bit bullish here. So we got up, came down, starting to grind above the anchored VWAP. Now you're going to get a little. I mean, you might want to wait, but they're reporting growth. They're a decent ways away from being profitable, but still getting fairly consistent growth. If you look at, maybe maybe not sequential, but year over year has been pretty good. So I mean, they get some seasonality in their earnings. All right, so we got a few names in healthy dividends, a couple names in bioreactor, and then we'll have I think a few names today in bioboom. I'll put in there. I didn't really. I got to start pulling the trigger on some of these guys. My goal is that we get some sort of wanting to sell. Like we were selling some of the healthy dividends. Now I want to start selling some of my bioreactor, and then start selling hopefully those bio booms. But I'm hopefully some of the money I've got from the funds I got from the healthy dividends I'll start using here in the bio booms, and then hopefully some more from the bioreactor I can add to some bio booms, and then as the speculative stuff starts to catch bids, I'll sell those and I'll rotate those up probably in the healthy dividends and bioreactor, etc. So it's just kind of this rotation that we got going there. What was the thing on them? Oh yeah, Guardian Health. Guardian Health. They were, oh, they're gonna do a blood test that's gonna be vastly superior, and but then they don't realize Exact's doing it too. Exact's doing it, and then Guardian's numbers were bad. So now this is what happens. Now, again, you read the narratives on these things, and they tell you, like, you gotta watch out for the blood test coming from a competitor. Meanwhile, Exact's working on a blood test. They're doing it too. So not only do they have the stool test, they'll have the blood test, and on top of that, they have various other cancer screening tests that they're working on in general. I mean, and some people don't want to do blood tests. You're always going to have that population. I mean, not that everybody's like excited about doing a stool test, but I mean, some people just don't want to do a blood test ever. Like, just do it this way, and if it's an easy way for people to do it. And if they need a blood test, they need a blood test, because if it's something pops up, and then guess what? Exact has that too. I don't know. I just sometimes you're sitting there, you're listening to all these analysts, and you know that they know that, but yet they're trying to convince you, and everybody on the Wall Street Journal and reading on their iPads, and those sponsored ads in Motley Crue, or what? Not Motley Crue, the '80s band, Motley Fool, and then a few other those ad-driven short AI-based computer formulated articles and all that stuff talking about it's like, come on guys, gotta do a deep dive. You gotta figure out that oh man, we gotta watch out for Cologuard, the stool sample, Guardant's gonna do a blood sample. And it's like, anybody who's writing that in a research note to investors knows that they have a blood test that's right behind and is potentially better. And guess what? It is. And the blood test for Guardant didn't beat stool the Cologuard. So total win here. This is what happens. You go from the 30s to 69, almost doubled. Thank you very much. Foolish. I don't think this was ever going to come down. I got to adjust this. The premium in CRISPR is just ridiculous. They're good, but it's just the name, man. The name, I mean, which, they probably are really the solid leader. I mean, the other, was it, Intellia, and then Editas. Those two other gene editing names, they're pretty good. Oh, Rocket. We got to get involved with Rocket. Did I miss my spot? I did. I did. Look at this. Look at this. I love this company, and I got, it's just all these other names I added. I should have put buy orders in on some of these guys. Look at this. We're tracking it. Hey, look out for this. Oh, now look. Came up 200-day EMA. Come up, found this sucker. Got above. Now she's ripping. I shouldn't say ripping, but she's grinding higher. I won't miss this. If this comes down, I'm gobbling it up. $250. $250, and I'm selling. What was the one here? Oh yeah, just more analyst junk. Them telling you, we didn't see the growth that we were expecting. Like, what? What? I mean, it's still growth. Still growth. Yeah, these guys have cash burn. It's not great, and things aren't exploding for them, but the thesis is not exactly broken there. All right, I'm gonna end it there. I'll put the names in the chat. I apologize for the long video, and this is probably going to come up way after the market opens. I'm going to probably start doing it at 8 o'clock, or probably 8:15, and then probably do it through the 8:30 reset. And then hopefully can get up by 9, see how it goes. All right, I'll end it there. Good luck. Stay healthy.